Hello, in this video I want to show you how to add a new event to your Scout database and how to fill out the details tab in that event. And in future videos we'll look at all the other tabs of an event and how to add campers to your event, how to assign lodging, all that sort of stuff. But for now in this video we'll just show you how to add a new event. I want to have an event called Nerd Camp, and if I search I find that there's no Nerd Camp in here. So I need to add a new one in order to put it in the database. So I'm going to click Add New and Add Event. And you're going to see my event pops up with a few things pre-filled that I need to adjust. So the name is Nerd Camp. I'm just going to fill that out. The code for my camp, you need to come up with a method to track your camps. Like if you want to pull up a camp from a report, the easiest way to pull it up is to have the specific code from that camp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a code that is NC15A. Basically what that means is Nerd Camp 2015, and A is the first camp of the year. You will need to come up with your own code. You can use something like this, that's fine, no problem. But this allows me later when I pull reports, I know exactly how to enter the code that I want for the report that I want. Some people don't put in dashes, they'll do it like this. Or some people may even put in like this, 2015. Whatever you choose, just come up with a system and stick with it. And that way you'll know how to view reports for the events that you're looking at. And by the way, I use the word event because sometimes camps will call these events camps. Sometimes they will call them overnight stays or retreats or something like that. But whatever you call it, it's an event. People are coming to your camp. They are potentially staying overnight, potentially just staying during the day, but for some reason you want to record the people who are here on property for that event. So we call it an event as a generic term. So I have Nerd Camp, I have a code, I need to choose the type of event. These types are entered in the setup area of Scout, and I want to choose this as a custom, as the type of event that I want to use. And the group for this, I'm just going to choose one here. It'll be a men's. Whatever you do for Nerd Camp, I guess it could be a family or something depending on how you do it. But hey, it's a men's retreat for me. Facility, this is going to be in the facility of Riverville. That's one of the facilities at my camp. I'm going to give it a start date of June 15th, 2015. A start time of 5 p.m. I'm going to give it an end date of 6/20/2015 and an end time of, we'll say, 1 p.m. They're going to go home right after lunch. Arrival time, this field shows up in the customer portal when they're signing up for events to tell them what time on that first day they should show up, what time they should arrive for check-in, and I'm going to say they should arrive between 2 and 5 p.m. The coordinator is the person on my end who's responsible for this camp, and I'm going to say that's Dennis. And the speaker is the person who will be speaking for the event, and that is going to be Mr. Nerdy himself. If you have notes about the event, you can enter the notes here. The locked checkbox, if you lock an event, it makes it so it can't be edited until it's unlocked. And all that is it's an extra step to make sure that people are in the right event. For instance, once you've completed an event and it's done, most of the time you don't want to be going back and editing it. So if you choose locked right here, then what that'll do is people will have to think twice before they edit it. And it protects you from, if people are searching over here and they find multiple teen camps, or let me remove my filter like this and hit search, and there's multiple teen ones. I don't want someone accidentally editing teen 1 of 2011. So once an event is done, I'm probably going to lock it so that if somebody goes in to make a change to it or to add a camper to that event, they're going to get a message saying, hey, this camp has been locked. Are you sure this is the right camp for you to be adding people to? And that really just protects you from editing the wrong camp. A non-insured event, this is going to come into play for your camper day report, that if you choose non-insured event for this event, then none of the people who attend the event will be counted in your camper day report for your insurance. So you need to know which events need to be reported to your insurance company and which events don't. And if this isn't going to be reported to your insurance company, just choose non-insured event. And when you print that report later, it's going to say, oh, let's go ahead and leave those people out, that they really shouldn't be counted as campers in this event. Or campers for the purpose of the insurance company, for me paying the insurance company. The next thing that I want to talk about here is this meals area. Meals is something that you would use if you want to track how many people are eating particular meals. Usually your kitchen would maybe want that information. If you are a camp that only has one facility, you're only running one camp at a time, you're not doubling up on camps, maybe a couples retreat and a teen camp at the same time, or teen camp and junior camp at the same time, something like that, then there may be no reason to fill out this meals section. I would suggest that if you're not using the data and you have no plans in the future of using the data, don't make it harder on yourself by entering data that is not worthwhile. However, if there's a reason for you to enter meals, like you want to know how many people will be eating each meal, then this allows you to enter meals for this event, and then later you can even add people like your visitors to these meals, or even add staff into these meals, and then your kitchen is going to see exactly how many people are eating which meal. They'll know how many people to cook for junior camp at the same time as knowing how many to cook for teen camp, even though maybe those are both going on at the same time. The easiest way to add meals is to use this Create Standard Meals button. If you go to the Setup area, in the Setup area you can define standard meals. What you do in there is you say, I want there to be a meal every day that the camp is going on. I want there to be a meal at 8 a.m. and I want that to be called breakfast. And every time that 12:30 p.m. happens that the camp is going on, I want there to be a meal called lunch. And every time that 6 p.m. happens that there's a camp going on, I want there to be a meal called dinner. So if you did that in the setup area and then you clicked Create Standard Meals, what Scout would do is it would loop through each day here for these times, and it would create a meal at each of those times. That way all you have to do is have your setup area set up correctly, hit Create Standard Meals, and you're going to get your meals for this event already created, so that when campers are added, they're added to the meals and the meal count is correct. Suppose those standard meals aren't exactly accurate. You'll have the ability to delete a meal. There'll be an X button to delete it here. Or you can just create a meal manually right here, entering the name, the description, when it starts, what time it starts, what type of meal it is, the meal level, as well as the notes. Meal level just keeps track of whether it's an adult meal or a youth meal, or it's a special meal or a not special meal. Again, it's something that's entered in the setup area, and it allows you to break down your meal count for the end of the year, so you'll know how many, depending on what you enter here, maybe how many adult meals you served versus how many youth meals you served, or how many family style meals versus how many whatever other style meals you choose right here. So that's meals. And again, it may be more detailed than you have any desire to track, and if so, feel free to just ignore it and you don't have to use it. Down here in the bottom are custom boxes for events. Again, these are set up in the setup area. So for all events, I have a bunch of check boxes set up here and a couple of text boxes and no date boxes. But if I wanted to say that this event, this nerd camp, is going to feature, paintball and the climbing wall and maybe the pool, I can check those boxes and then I'll know that this event includes these. Once I check these boxes, I can later in a report pull up all events that used the pool, and I would be able to see each of the events that had the pool checked. Or if I had a value in here, cabins needed, this may be information for maybe my hospitality team to know I want these cabins to be cleaned for this camp. Or maybe not specific cabins, but maybe you'd put in here, I want 2 cabins without bathrooms, and I want 4 cabins with bathrooms. Something along that line. But again, these are custom boxes, so you can put whatever boxes you need here and put in whatever information that your camp deems useful. Okay, that's it for the Details tab. In the next videos, we'll go over these other tabs, and you'll be able to see how to set up your camp for online registration, how to add attenders into your camp, how to assign lodging, and how to just be ready for camp to arrive, how to check in campers when they come, and that sort of thing. Thank you very much.